Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Dory. I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery in September of 2016, on the 12th to be exact, in Hartford, at Hartford Hospital with Dr. Darren Tischler. My highest weight was 333.5. Surgery weight was 300.5. I had lost 33 pounds prior to surgery. I did that by cutting out gluten and bread and rice and pasta and things like that. Kind of did the paleo diet. Then surgery date, as I said, was in September, and I now weigh 247.9. So I have lost 85.6 pounds since my highest weight. I'm not quite sure how much. It was 50 something pounds to date since surgery. I don't have my paper in front of me. I'm doing this from my bedroom. I normally do it from my downstairs office, but I figured the kids are in bed, my hubby's not home, so I might as well do it now while I have time to update you guys. So I had come to you guys, I remember the end of February, I believe it was, but basically, February 24th, I have recorded that I weighed 250. Then I went away that weekend with my husband to Newport, Rhode Island. I had taken him out to a couple of different restaurants that I've only been to one time before, and he's never been to, and I've always wanted to take him, so we took this opportunity to go. And it's called the Melting Pot. Basically, it is a fondue restaurant. You start off with a cheese fondue. You pick from different kinds that they had. We ended up having one that had spinach, garlic and spinach, and we had extra garlic. But of course they bring you bread and some vegetables, I believe was that one. Yeah, vegetables, bread, a lot of gluten things that we don't normally eat. My husband also is doing this way of eating with me, kind of the paleo diet, high protein, low carb, moderate fat. Sometimes we do keto, but nothing that we're really trying to do. I'm only 6 months out, so just about 6 months. So I'm not trying to do anything except just what my surgeons have told me to do. But anyway, so we had dinner at the Melting Pot on our way to the marriage retreat that we go to each year. We try to, that our church puts out. So it was amazing. We had the cheese fondue, and then we had a salad, which I haven't really had even up to this point, a lot of lettuce and salad type things. I'm kind of nervous about I don't know, like chewing and getting the lettuce stuck. I don't know, but I haven't really had too much salad. So I had a couple of bites, and then I just gave it to my husband. And then we, for our main course, I had like lobster and shrimp and chicken. I forget, a couple other things. And so I started getting full, but I really wanted to eat it. Like, we don't normally go, and I mean, it's expensive. It's a very expensive place. Our bill was like $100 and I don't even know. I had a drink. I don't drink very often. I didn't drink very often prior to surgery, but I had a margarita probably once a month, every 3 weeks or something. I'd go out to my favorite Mexican restaurant and have a margarita. So this time I ended up having a white sangria, and my husband ended up having a red sangria, and they were delicious. So anyway, so we completed that, and then of course they bring you the chocolate fondue, and my husband doesn't eat dark or milk chocolate, so we got a white chocolate fondue, and they bring you, blondies and brownies and, more things that we don't normally eat. But, we figured, listen, we don't go out. We probably won't go out like till next year, like this, till the next marriage retreat possibly, where we're able to just splurge. So anyway, so we ate that. I was more than stuffed, but I had been that weekend making sure that I wore my Fitbit everywhere, and that I got in my steps. And so that was on Friday, and then on Saturday we ended up, I think that was probably the 25th of February, we ended up going to we got to Newport. We brought a lot of stuff with us. I had a huge bag, probably like this big, of like one of those bags that's insulated, that you would get from a grocery store, but it's square. It was a huge square, and we brought pepperoni and cheese. Kerrygold makes a really good Dublin something cheese. And we brought protein bars and other bars, and water, and my water enhancers. And so we were totally prepared, you know, to just eat in our room or whatever. And so breakfast was fine. I know for Saturday morning we went out to IHOP. We had a wonderful breakfast, but I got very full very fast, which was fine. I only had a few bites of eggs. I had ordered scrambled eggs, 3 pieces of bacon, 3 sausages, and then I had toast. And I was really missing toast with jelly with my breakfast, and so I ended up eating a piece of toast. And then I ate like maybe the equivalent of maybe 3/4 of an egg scrambled. I had 1 piece of bacon, and I think I may have had half of a sausage, and I was totally full. So I didn't want to force myself, and so I didn't eat anymore. And then something really nice happened to us there. We were sitting next to a gentleman who had a hat on that said that he was a veteran. And I always make it a point, always, to any military, to really thank them for their service, and really show my appreciation. Just in passing, I'll just say thanks for your service, or I'll there was one time I got a grocery cart for an elderly man who, you know, he had to fight through people to get a cart, and I went and brought him a cart and things like that. Well, this gentleman ended up being there with his 2 grandchildren, and he was just such a sweet grandpa. He ordered, you know, food for them, used such amazing manners just to really teach them. I overheard him telling the waitress that he really wants to teach them how to have manners. They played Uno during their breakfast, and so I was just compelled to pick up their check and just to pay for it. You know, I remember I overheard him you know, talking to his grandson about, you know, what he's going to eat, and the grandpa said, well, I'll just finish whatever you don't have. And I couldn't tell whether or not he had money or he didn't. It really didn't matter to me, but I had asked my server to get his check without him knowing, and I paid for it, and then I wrote a really nice note for him on the back, just appreciating him as a person for what he's done for us, military wise, but also as a grandpa. Like, he's really instilling great values in those kids, and you don't see that a lot these days. You really don't see a lot of the younger generation, or our generation really, or even older, that are teaching kids. I try my best with my kids. We're always talking. We always sit down at the dinner table. We always talk about our high points, our low points of the day, what we could have done better. My children have always befriended people at school who probably don't have friends. They've always had really a kind, soft heart, and I really have wanted to always instill that in all of my children. I have 6 children. My son is turning 27 this year. My daughter is turning 23 this year, and then I have an 8-year-old, a 7-year-old, a almost 6-year-old, and an almost 3-year-old. So anyhow, so I just thought it was sweet. I just wrote him this really nice note, but then I started getting emotional as I was writing the note. Like, it really hit me, and I just had to leave the restaurant. My husband kept saying, honey, don't cry, you can do it, you know? And I'm such a sap. Like, I cry over Kleenex commercials. I cry when I'm retelling a story to him that involves either somebody getting hurt or somebody having a great time or whatever. I just cry. I bawl. I'm a softie. So he's like, you know, you can do it. And of course the waitresses were coming over, and they're like, wow, that's so nice of you. And my point was not to get attention at all. My point was just to encourage him to show him that there are good people in this world, and that I was thankful for his service. And that was it. I made a beeline for the door, because I knew it would be just a little bit longer before they would tell him that I picked up his check. So anyway, so that was breakfast on Saturday. We had a wonderful time with our church family, just learning just how to have a great marriage and how to love each other, and how we're better together as one unit. And so anyhow, so that was great. And then Saturday evening we went, so we went to this really, really nice restaurant. It was called The Mooring, Mooring. And Newport, Rhode Island is right there on the ocean, and there's amazing seafood. I love seafood. So this restaurant was a very high-end restaurant. Our bill from that restaurant was about $150 for just two of us. We each had a drink. And then I ended up having like a seafood pasta. But by the time we got an appetizer, and by the time I was done the appetizer, I was stuffed, and my drink, and then I had water, and so I brought it back to the hotel, and I didn't end up eating not much. I think I probably had maybe an ounce of pasta, which I haven't had. And so all in all, we had a wonderful weekend. I actually won a couple of Fitbit challenges that I was in for how many steps I got for the weekend. I got an all-time high score for myself and all that. So I was really trying to get my steps in, not going to sleep early, making sure I'm staying up, getting steps in and things like that. But when I got home, all that story I just told you from that weekend, I gained 8 pounds. Now, it's not 8 pounds of real pounds put on. It's 8 pounds of gluten and 8 pounds of salt retaining water. So anyhow, so last week I didn't do an update last Monday. Not this past Monday, the Monday before, because we had just gotten back, and I knew it would take me a good week to get that off. So I just went back to my normal thing, 1,100 calories a day, sometimes 1,000. Lots of drinking, water drinking, taking, all the necessary steps to get in my exercise, lifting weights, protein first, not going over a lot on carbs, and things like that. So this morning I weighed in at 247.9, I believe it was. So anyhow, so all in all, I'm happy. We had a great time, so it was worth it. It did take me an extra week or so, and it does come off. You just really have to get back to the basics, and that's not a habit of ours to go off and just consume all this junk. We don't normally do that. So, but it was a good time. So I went to the doctor today, my gynecologist, to follow up on my post-op for when I had my I had a polyp removed. I had a D&C, and then I had a scope thing looking at my cells. They really wanted to make sure I had some abnormal cells. I don't know if it was in my uterus or whatever, but they found it was either going to be a cyst or a polyp. It ended up being a polyp. It was a really big polyp. It was about the size of the gynecologist's hand. All broken up, she said, but that big, that they pulled out of there, and so that was good. And then I got my results back, and there's no cancer, no cancerous cells, nothing like that. The pap smear came back with no HPV or whatever that is, cancer or whatever, but just to monitor the cells. So instead of going every 5 years for a pap, I'm going to go every, I think 3, but they want me to repeat it in 1. So I'm going to repeat it in 1, and then I can, I think, go every 3. And then, so everything looks good. I was really scared to go through all that, but it was easy. Yeah, it was easy. So, but it was fun. It's fun you know, seeing people you haven't seen for a while, and they make a comment about how much weight you lost. And yeah, it's fun. I saw some people today in the office, some nurses who haven't seen me in a while. They knew who I was. They knew I owned a business, a cookie business. So they always say, you know, oh, I was thinking about you. I was thinking about your cookies. I was going to place an order or whatever. And then it clicks for them like, oh, the last time I saw her, she weighed a lot more. So that's been encouraging. It's been very encouraging for other friends of mine, people from church who I haven't seen. We had a service this past Sunday, which was a big deal, and there were people who I haven't seen in a very long time, probably a couple of years, and they were very impressed, and it was really nice to just see them and everything. So yeah, so that's that. Still doing my thing with protein. I'm getting you know, a lot of like pepperoni, seafood. My brother works for a seafood company, a local seafood company, so he got me a 2-pound bag of shrimp that I've been asking for, and some scallops, and they were amazing. At BJ's, I've been buying a, it's like a, I don't even know how big it is, about this big jar of crab, of you know, fresh, real crab. And so I have that, and sometimes I'll just put it in the microwave in a little coffee cup with a pat of the Kerrygold butter, and I'll just snack on that. It's very low in calorie, no carbs. It might have a tiny bit of carbs, I don't remember, but not much. And then, you know, of course I get the cheese, and I like my chopsticks, and oh yeah, Nutrition came out with 3 new flavor of bars. I've tried 2 out of the 3. I tried the blueberry cobbler. I've tried the maple donut. They're both phenomenal. Very soft, very moist, delicious. So the last one is salted caramel, and the nutrition store up the street from me, Absolute Nutrition, he just got them in. So I'm going to go and pick some of those up. I also started eating it's from a company called Real Good. Maybe it's Real Good Pizza Company. But in any event, it is pizza that the crust is made out of chicken, and it's delicious. It's really, really, really good. So that kind of puts out my pizza craving when I have one of those I probably only have one every 2 weeks or something, but it really does good for my pizza craving. They're small. They're perfect for us who have had bariatric surgery. So yeah, that's about it for now. I'm getting ready to watch This Is Us. I'm sure a lot of you out there are watching and addicted to that show as well. I love that show. So anyway, so I'm getting ready to go watch that. And I think that's really it. Anyhow, so I hope everybody's doing a great job out there with your own journeys, and that you guys will have a good evening. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.